Okay, let's talk about something right now. People are asking me, how's the dating going? Dating over 50. Want to know how it's going? It's a fucking shit show. It's a shit show. Is there anybody normal? Is there anybody normal? They're either an alcoholic, a drug addict, they hate their mother. Who hates their mother? A lot of fucking guys hate their mother. I don't know. Con artist. I don't know. I think I'm gonna be celibate. I'm giving up. Like, what the fuck is going on? I can't take it. Help.
Okay, I've been thinking about this. This is some free dating advice, so men, we're going to need you to listen up. Listen, we need to normalize first date yoga pants and t-shirts. Okay? Listen, I got a message from my best friend the other day. She's trying to get ready to go on a date. She's going from work clothes into date clothes. She just wants to put on a pair of jeans and a shirt. I don't know if you've realized this, men, but us women that have hit 40, we start to tack on some pounds. You know, COVID, whatever, depression, menopause, our hormones are crazy. We're sweating to death. She's trying to put her pants on as she's driving down the road. Do you all men know what we go through to try to look okay for you? She is driving, trying to put pants on. She's having to sit on them to stretch them out so that we can suck them up over our bellies, suck in, lose oxygen, and button our pants. Okay? This is extreme sports going on for us women. Today, a man who has consistently asked me to go out with him, finally I'm like, you know what? Let's go. I start getting ready, the anxiety starts to rise, right? Because I cannot, I've shaved my legs, I have lotion on. Do you know what it's like to put pants on? It's like a wet bathing suit, okay? Trying to put some jeans on, trying to suck it in. I'm to the point I'm like, you know what, screw it. It's too much work, I'm sweating. I'm gonna have to start my makeup over, I'm gonna have to start my hair over. The bottoms of my neck is sweating. If you men would just call us and say, hey, you know what? Can you throw some yoga pants on, a t-shirt, maybe a little sweatshirt and some tennies? And meet me at the sports bar. I've already ordered like 5 appetizers and a pitcher of beer. Honey, we're going to be there. We'll dress up for you eventually. But maybe take the pressure off that first date where we can just come comfortable, where we're not trying to stress about what we got to wear. And I mean, for love of Jesus, trying to put pants on after 40. It's not fun. It's not fun. We're sweaty. Now we smell. We've got to take a whole nother shower all over again just to come and see you. For some man that may not even, hell, we might not ever talk to you again. So normalize those first dates, those yoga pants, those t-shirts, those tennies. Let's just go have a good time. Let's eat, let's laugh, let's drink. You'll probably get to that second base a lot sooner. Just saying. Free dating advice, men. Free dating advice.
Okay, I'm back on the dating apps. It's been like 5 months, 6 months since my last relationship. I'm ready to go on a date and possibly meet someone. I have very low expectations. Not standards, but expectations of the pool I'm choosing from, because I have a bazillion likes because y'all just swipe right on everyone, right? That's like the thing men do, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Of those likes, I would find like maybe 5. So you liked me first. I said, okay. And then you just don't message. Why? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Okay, I'm here to let everyone in the world know it does not get easier in the dating world the older you get. It actually gets harder. I actually had someone yesterday say, I can't believe you're single. You're just so pretty. Okay, I didn't know that was a requirement to date. Secondly, yeah, no. But however, I will tell you this. I don't have time for somebody else's crap. Do you know what it's like out there in the dating world? Have you tried these apps? They're freaking terrible. They're like shopping in a thrift store. I mean, that's what dating at 50 is like. Who's the least damaged freak out there? And by the way, I have to turn around and ask myself the same question. People are saying that about you too. So that's why I don't date. That is why.
Hi, everyone. Here is part 1 of dating in your 50s. So it's probably one of the most difficult things, I think, going. Dating in your 50s on these, dating sites and apps is like trying to figure out the friggin' Rubik's Cube from the 80s. It's impossible. It's impossible and it's frustrating. And I just want to take the phone and slam it up against the wall. I don't get it. I don't understand why it's so hard to find somebody. Is it that everybody's completely broken? I don't want to go on a date and hear about, 3 hours of why your wife left you or why you left your wife. No. Ask me some questions. People sit there and they say nothing. How could you not have anything to say? I'm meeting you for the first time and you've got nothing. I hear crickets. You should have 10 million questions to ask right off the bat. Done. Bye-bye. See you later. Now,
can anyone else relate to dating in your 50s? Is so terrible and confusing. I saw a guy on TikTok post how he always contradicts himself, and I started laughing because I said, that is so me. I mean, I am emotionally available, but yet I'm not emotionally available. I feel like I'm independent, but yet I'm codependent. I am not a needy person, but yet I am a needy person, meaning I need attention, but I don't want you to smother me. I want a relationship, but yet I enjoy being single. I want somebody to spend time with, but I don't want to spend all my time with you. So I don't know. Does anyone else have this issue, or is it just me?
You guys, we have so many comments about dating in your 50s, and I think one thing to remember is there's a lot of sensationalism out there, but here's raw and real. You want to hear it? The good news is that men and women in their 50s are both in their 50s. So they've either been married, they have children, they've had some kind of situation that's maybe made them feel not so great. Men don't date women in their 20s because they feel great. They date women in their 20s because they don't feel good. Women date men that are younger, not because they feel great, because they don't feel great. And so what I'm looking for is a man that's around my same age, late 40s, early 60s, who are highly functioning, love their kids, have great jobs, are so happy with who they are. I'm not looking to babysit anyone, and I'm definitely not looking to hear about someone's ex-wife.
I have a question. How do you date in your 50s? And I've been watching TikToks, there's always the dating ones, and it doesn't seem like anyone's faring very well. And I know the dating apps are not the way to go. I actually perused them a couple times the last couple weeks. That's not going to be the way to go. And I've lived in a van for over 3 years, so that was not conducive to dating. And before that, my brother passed away, and so going through that and COVID and everything else. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't have high hopes. I don't think anybody else knows, but I thought I would put it out there. When you're younger, you go in places, you're going to bars or festivals or whatever and meeting people, and that just isn't my life. I'm in bed by 10 o'clock. I work really hard. I'm taking care of my mom, taking care of her stuff. She's 95. My daughter's 23, so she's grown. And I'm looking for, I don't want somebody who thinks that they have to take care of me. They don't. I can take care of myself, or lead me. I can lead myself. I was thinking what I'm looking for is somebody who is a good friend, because your friends don't think that they can solve your problems, or they aren't jealous of anything, and they're just there, for an ear and to hang out with. But I want a friend who I'm attracted to. And somebody who's laid back.
I don't really want somebody who's type A, somebody who's works 80 hours a week. Well, sometimes you have to just because you're trying to make it. But I'm talking about like, that's your main focus, is that. Because I'm going to be 59 in a month. And I want to have traveled cross country by myself for over the past 3 years. And I'd like to travel internationally. I'd like to live on a farm. I don't know, is that too much to ask? Anyway, just putting it out there. Anybody have any suggestions? And I know, like, becoming part of a group, maybe a running club, something like that. I just don't have the time for that. I'm working a lot myself. So, yeah, I don't know. Any suggestions? You let me know. What's worked for you? I could hang out in Menards. I love hanging out in Menards. I'm kind of a DIY kind of gal. I redid my whole van myself. I love Menards. I love Home Depot. And I'm not adverse at this point in my life to going up and talking to somebody. But what do you even say, like, to break a conversation? As a guy, what would, and then how do you get from there to there? Because people are so, I don't know, we're so into ourselves, and I think we're so used to being alone after COVID that, we're kind of leery of things, or we don't know how to socialize anymore because we're on this thing, thinking we're socializing. Anyway, okay, any ideas would be helpful. Thank you, and have a great day.
Can somebody please explain to me why dating in your 40s sucks so much? Because, I've been divorced for a number of years now, and I have 5 kids, and life is crazy. And, I've spent a lot of time taking care of myself, taking care of my kids, working hard, putting myself through school, da-da-da-da-da. And then, I finally get to a place where I feel like I'm ready to add a person into my life, right? So I start dating, and it's either guys who just want to have sex with me, or you start talking to them and then they ghost you, or 500 like you, but none of them even send a message. And it's just ridiculous. And the reality is, I don't go to the bar. I don't drink. And I don't want anything to do with that scene. So really and truly, how do you meet people now? Like, this world is so different than it was when I was in my 20s and before I got married and all that stuff. And now it's like people are really far away, or you chat for a little while and then it stops. And I'm just curious if there's anything out there that's just marriage out of convenience, 2 people who want a partner and to not live alone anymore, to help pay the bills and all that stuff. So, if you're willing to do a marriage out of convenience, let me know, because maybe I'm at that point where I'm not an ugly woman. I am not a difficult person to get along with. I am positive and upbeat and happy. I love my children so much. But I also want a companion. I want a best friend. I want somebody to dance with me in the kitchen. I want somebody to walk by and slap my ass as I'm cooking dinner. I want somebody to help and to hold me. Are there men like that out there anymore? Because I feel like there's not. I'm really quite disappointed. So anyway, I just figured I'd put my little 2 cents out there that dating in your 40s sucks. And I wish it wasn't this way. So anyway, have a blessed day.
I just had to come on here and rant. Dating over 50 absolutely sucks. It sucks. Do men ever grow up? 58-year-old man, do they ever grow up? I don't understand it. So now I've been dating this guy for 4 months. And I've given him chances on his stupid behavior, which I shouldn't have. But he's a nice guy. He does have his quirks. But he did something. Now, I want your opinion on this. He said something that he shouldn't have said. And any other person, I think, this would have did them and they would have broke up with him. So after everything else being penciled in, only having time for me when he's not with his friends and when he's not with his social club, like only having time with me in between all that other stuff. That right there was already ticking me off. But this really pissed me off. We had a clam boil here with my friends and they wanted me to invite him. Fine. I invited him. He was here with us. We had a clam boil. Girls all wanted to go listen to this band that we really like. So I invited him. Oh, I really don't feel like going. Well, I really want to go. So I kind of left it up to him. You can either come with me or you can go home. I'm sorry, this was supposed to be my day with my friends. They chose to invite you to the clam boil. I want to go. Now, you always do your thing with your friends. I never, ever pencil you in. You always pencil me in. So he went because it was either he goes with me or he has to go back home and not stay the night. So he kind of didn't really want to go all the way back to Cranston. I live in Westport. So anyway, we go, him really not wanting to go. We had a great time. He loved the band. He loved the music. We danced. We had a great time. We get home and we're in the car. And he says, you know, I really didn't want to go, which I knew. I had a great time. And I said, yeah, me too. He's like, and we danced. We hadn't danced together yet. 4 months into a relationship. I said, yeah, we did. And do you know what he said to me? You know, out of all those women in there that wanted to come home with me, I chose to come home with you. What the fuck is that? Who says that? First of all, what makes you think that all those women wanted to go home with you? He's cute, but he's not God's gift to women. And why would you say that to your girlfriend? I was speechless. I didn't even know what to say. Like literally, I got out of the car. I got in the house. I went to the bathroom. I changed my clothes. I got into bed. He got near me and I told him, don't fucking touch me. And he looked at me like, what? Do you realize what you just said to me? Who says that? Like, who says that? Am I wrong, girls? Am I wrong? What guy who really cares about a woman would make her feel that insecure and say something like that? What guy is that conceited that he thinks that all those women in that place want to go home with him? And what guy is worried about all the other women in there and not worried about his own girlfriend? Now tell me that is not a reason to break up with someone. What do you think? I would like your opinion on this. Please, help a girl out here. This guy's 58. He's not 18. And let me tell you, he's cute, he has nice eyes, but he looks like he's 65. Okay? You tell me what you think. Please, tell me. Out of all the women in that place tonight that I know would want to come home with me, I chose to come home with you. All I gotta say is fuck dating. Is there one decent, good man out there? Please, girls, what would you think? What would you say? And what would you do? I need an opinion. Please help me out here. Thanks.
So I'm finally off work, which is amazing because my legs are killing me right now. But like, when did dating get so hard? Why is dating in your 40s so freaking hard? It's like, at first, people will tell you all the things you want to hear, and then you go meet them, and then out of nowhere, they come up with like all this nonsense you didn't discuss beforehand and kind of just throw that shit at you. And like, this just recently happened to me. I went out on a date with somebody a few days ago, and I thought we had like enough in common, and it was like, okay, I can work with that. I can maybe compromise with that. Like, I try to be accommodating, and then after we meet, it was, I want to get another cat, and then I want land, and I want all these animals, and I'm like, look, I'm looking to settle down and like quiet my life. I already work hard. I work at Walmart. I'm tired. Like, my legs are hurting. I don't want to come home or even be home. Yeah, I'd be all the and have to take care of all these animals, all these farm animals and all these pets. And I was like, no, dude, I don't want to I don't want to take on all this work as I'm getting older. Like, I'm going to be 45. I don't want to be taking on farm animals at this age. Like, no. And I was like, what would I get out of this? And his answer was, well, you won't starve. Is that it? I said, well, no, I'm looking for someone, that'll love me and not abuse me. And he's like, well, you're looking for a fairy tale. What? Love is now a fairy tale, you guys. Like, in 2025, people don't love no more. It's all about work. Money. Who can you take advantage of? And you, like, oh my God, I couldn't believe that response. I was like, nope, I'm done. I have a job. I can buy my groceries. I don't need to come be a babysitter, a free laborer. No, we're not doing that. So, yeah, I passed on that one. You won't starve. Like, what? I don't starve now. I buy groceries. I can't. What happened to the world? Has anyone had any luck dating in their 40s? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, you guys? On a good note, though, I got to play Fallout the other night when they had the free Fashionat glowing masks, and I got the one I wanted. I only got to do like 5 events because I had to go to bed for work in the morning, but I got the glowing sun. I was so excited. So I have that in my collection. Anyways, I'm just kind of like clearing my thoughts right now. But this is why I don't meet anyone. This is why I don't go date. I've been single so freaking long. I come home from work and I get on my computer and I play my video games. And I have fun. And I don't starve. So yeah, I don't know when dating got so complicated. It was never this hard. It used to be super easy. And now it's like, what the fuck's wrong with you people? What is wrong with the people out there? Maybe that's why they're single. Shit, maybe there's something wrong with me. I don't know. I don't think so. Anyways, I hope you guys all had a great day. I'll be back at work tomorrow. It'll be just me. I'm sure I'll be super busy. Ugh. But have a good night, guys.
There's men on the dating apps that are talking about how they want to be active all the time and all they want to do is hunt and fish and be on the lake 24 hours a day, and they like to run and do marathons and they don't like to sit still and they like to be busy all the time and just go, and they have a big group of friends and blah blah blah. You're not for me. And that's fine, because I'm probably not for you. Because if I was to list off my hobbies, if that's all that my dating profile, just a list of my hobbies, it would go something like this: napping, shopping, going through the car wash, making TikTok, being antisocial. I'm kind of obsessed with doing laundry. I take a lot of things back to UPS for Amazon. That's kind of my social hour. I like to get my nails done at least every 2 weeks, and a pedicure. So if you can keep up with that, then we're golden. But I'm not gonna be able to keep up with you in your marathons and your circles of friends that do all kinds of shit, because I'm 52 and I'm just ready to slow down. I'm not ready to be faster. I just don't see how I'm ever going to have any luck on these dating apps because of this situation. So are guys really that busy? Do they really want to go? Where are the men that want to just come home, make a nice dinner, go for a walk, watch some TV, and go to bed? Where are the men that want leisurely weekend trips and don't want to out watching sports and eating appetizers with their friends and everybody every night, or going to parties constantly, or at the lake 24 hours a day? Because I'm just not that person. I'm not really hopeful that I'm going to find somebody that is a little more like chill.
So I have like a general inquiry. General inquiry. Now, I haven't dated since 2013. That's 11 years ago. Now, if you think back to 2013, most of you can't, the dating scene was different. There was no, like, Instagram had just come out. There was, like, I don't know if dating apps existed. I don't know. But the influence was not there. You met someone in the wild. I met my ex-husband in the wild. It was great. It was a great time. The dating was beautiful. It was so non-toxic. It was great. Coming out of a divorce 2.5 years ago, and, like, I've seen people in between, dated it a little bit. But now I'm, like, throwing myself back out there. What happened? What? Like, when did humans become not humans? When did, like, women and men, relax, and men become, like, a choice? Or, like, something that you just, like, are like, no, I don't like that one, swipe. Or, like, oh, if it doesn't work out with that one, no worries, because, like, I'll just find another one. Or, no, this is too hard, I'm leaving. Or, yeah, I thought I was ready, but yeah, I'm really not. Or, I have too much trauma. So, these are all my problems, and they're probably going to affect our relationship, so, nah. Or, yeah, I really like you. And I want to keep seeing you and taking you on dates, but, like, you're probably not going to get a commitment from me. So we're just going to stay that way for a long time. Sorry? Like, what happened? Honestly, if there are genuine people out there, who just have old school values, maybe it's like a European thing, I don't know. I was going to say wog, but then you're going to be like, oh, it's so offensive. It's not, if you are one. Where are the old school, like, nice traditional values? And, like, the normal dating, like, send a message, hey, like, without being weird, you know what I mean? And, like, the not playing games, and just, like, I get it, it's hard to meet people in the wild. It is hard these days because everyone thinks you're, like, trying to crack on. No one knows what your intentions are. Like, I get it 100%, but also, like, if you don't try, you'll never know. But also, please be normal. Like, I just want to meet someone really, like, just normal and nice and genuine.
who doesn't leave, who doesn't ghost. What's this ghosting? I never had that. I'm like, I never had that 11 years ago. I never had that 2 years ago. What happened to the quality of people? I'm still stuck 11 years ago, and I love that. I think that's the best quality about myself, is I will always have old school traditional values. And I'm like, mate, there are not many of us left, and I know that there are men out there who would appreciate someone like me. But damn, where you at? Where are ya? I'm waiting. Some people, like, I see some videos of, like, some people, and it's a little bit cringy. They'll be like, this is my official dating profile, like, on TikTok. But I feel like I've become one of them. I mean, that's a little, like, attention grabbing. I'm like, DMs are going to be flooded now, like, relax. And they're usually, like, gorgeous men. But please don't DM me if you're, like, an old man. That's all I ask. I'm 29, single mum, yeah? I'm not saying, like, it's my dating profile. 29, single mum. No. Because we get it. Baggage. But also, maybe I would meet my husband through TikTok. Should I do a series? A dating series? I'm intrigued. Let me know what I should do. Let me know what I should do. Should I try and find my husband on TikTok? All I ask is that you're not a creep. Please, just That's all. That's all. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Enjoy your Wednesday!
Is there like a secret underground club where all the good men over 40 are hiding? Because I clearly did not get the invite. Because every man I run into is either married and looking to have an affair, gay, married and wants a threesome, or freshly divorced and still trauma dumping, meanwhile living in his mom's basement and calling himself an alpha male. Like, did the good ones vanish in 2005? And don't tell me to try the dating apps. I tried that, and I met a guy who wanted to tell me all about his giant tapeworm. I met a guy who lived in a van down by the river, literally. I met a guy who looked nothing like his dating profile. I cannot.
Hi, happy Monday. I hope everyone had a great day. Yeah, I will say it over and over again. I hate this time change. Gain an hour of sleep, my freaking ass. I just wake up either at the same time that I normally would or 2 hours before, which is what happened last night. But anyway, I digress. I watched the games yesterday. Yay, Broncos, sad Chiefs. But I just had this bright idea that even though I'm a very smart girl, and I very much know that dating apps in 2025 is not the way to do it, and I have paused all but Facebook dating, I'm like, hey, let's download Match. Because this summer I did download it, and it was the first time in like 3 years, and I actually had really great connections, and I actually met someone that I dated for 6 weeks that I still have to share that story. So I thought, well, maybe. And like the connections that I had, I didn't actually meet them. I just had met this other guy and had gone on a few dates. And I'm like, I want to focus on that. And I let them know, and they were kind. And I'm like, maybe they're on there, because I never got their phone number. So I downloaded Match. And I hate Match for a few reasons. One, you can't see shit without paying. Nothing. Two, after you pay, which I paid $35 for 1 week, which was asinine. If someone likes you, you can't just swipe left on them and they're gone. Like, when you go to their profile to see if you like them, it shows them, if they pay, it shows them that they looked at your profile. So they can continue, so then they can go back to your profile even if you've swiped and re-like you again or send you multiple messages. So you have to block anyone that you are just not interested in. You have to go through the process of blocking, which isn't that big of a deal, but it's annoying. So I set my height preference, my distance preference, and my age preference. And I swiped for about an hour, like praying. Give me somebody good. Give me somebody. Give me somebody. Left, 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 left. 5 likes. I sent 5 likes in an hour, hour and a half, and I ran out of people within my preferences. So I lowered the height by an inch, and I expanded the distance by 5 miles. Distance is probably one of my biggest things. I commuted back and forth from Denver, like South Denver, to Longmont is where I live, for 3 years. And it literally depressed me and put me in such a negative headspace that I literally tried to, half-heartedly, but I did. There were other things involved, but being on the road that much was horrific to me. And the majority of the people that I match with that are in that Denver area or north of Fort Collins, when we come to a point where we're like, hey, let's meet, he's like, yeah, can you come to Denver? Or do you ever come to Denver? And so for the first even date, they're not willing to come halfway or come to me. You're out. I just know that it's going to be that they're not going to want to come and be with me, that it's going to be me having to go to them. And I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. So that's why I have like such a big thing about distance. Under 45 minutes is ideal. Under 30 minutes is best. 5 minutes is great. So finally someone else liked me, and I ended up liking them back because I was like, and he was gorgeous, but he lives over an hour away. And so I'm never going to meet him. And then today I matched with a guy who lives 4 hours away. Never going to meet him. He said that he's free because he's an empty nester and he can move wherever for the one, but I'm not going to be driving 4 hours every other weekend. He would have to come to me. Like, we haven't even done a message yet. But I am not attracted to any of them. Like, or their pictures are horrible, or their profile is horrible. Like, none of them. And I'm really trying to keep an open mind, but I'm looking at all of these 40 to 50-year-old men, and I'm like, who the fuck are you? And I'm not attracted to women. Like, I would love to be a lesbian. Can't go there. Kind of tried it once. Couldn't do it. So I'm attracted, like, I want a man. But literally there's been 2 people out of hundreds that I've swiped that I have actually found attractive. Are other women having this trouble in this age range? I'm 48. Is it too late for me? Like, I think I'm pretty cute most of the time. Sometimes I look like a homeless person, but I mean, most of the time I'm pretty cute. The pictures I put on there are definitely cute. So it's 2025. Dating apps are not the way to go. Preach it to me. Rhonda, it is 2025. Dating apps are not the way to go. Just say it over and over. Be nice about it. Don't be rude, but just let me know in the comments. Okay, bye.
I do have a story for y'all. So there was this guy I was talking to. He was into me, whatever, and I was actually into him. And I told him I might need a man that's consistent, that shows up, and that's intentional. The bar is low, y'all. The bar is low. We went on a date and it was good. And then he got sick, and I was like, oh, you want me to bring you some soup? You want me to? No. I said, I'll come over and sit with you. I made all these offers, and I got, no. All right, so I quit trying. Then he started feeling better. We still ain't planned no dates or nothing, and things like, we still talked a lot. We talked on the phone. We text about every day, but nothing was happening. There was no progression. You hear me? No progression. So what I do? I started dating other people because I'm like, this ain't going nowhere. Anyway, he found out I've been dating other people and then sends me this message, and he's like, this is why I'm reserved, because I know you're out here dating other people. I don't want to just be somebody else that you call. Then don't be. Okay? Don't be. Either make yourself first or take yourself off the list. I'm not going to sit and wait for somebody else to maybe show up for me. I'm not going to give you exclusivity if I can't even get a, hey girl, you want to go on a date Thursday night to the Outback? No. If I can't get intention, you don't get exclusive access. You, sir, decided to just sit there like a rock. So you know what? One monkey don't stop no show. One monkey don't stop no show. This train will keep on rolling. Am I being too much? Y'all tell me. Y'all be honest now. Tell me. I do not think so. All right. Love you, mean it. Bye.
Story time of how I got catfished into going out with an NFL player. I know that sounds absolutely insane, but if you listen to it, you'll understand what I mean. So I matched with this guy on Hinge, and I had seen his profile a couple of different times. Like, sometimes you'll see the same profile like once a week, and you're like, I've already X'd that out. And you wonder if the app knows something that you don't. Is there like some high compatibility that the app knows about that I'm missing out on? And so a couple days later, he liked my profile. And when I saw like the thumbnail, I knew exactly who it was, because I had looked at his profile and thought like his photos were really funny. Like, they tickled me. And a lot of people just aren't funny on their profiles at all. So I really thought that he had to have been funny in real life if he was able to communicate that just through the pictures that he put up. But there was also something about the background of the photos that he had online that was very specific to me. And I have to be sort of vague because I'm not trying to identify anybody in these stories. They're just like for fun. But it wouldn't stand out to everyone. It wouldn't stand out to a lot of people. But to me personally, I have an interest that led me to believe that he had the same interest from the background of his photos. And I thought, okay, regardless, we're going to have a lot to talk about. $10 says we have a bunch of stuff in common. So we match, we start talking, and we're just talking on the app, like on the app messaging portion, which is weird. I don't normally stay there, but he has no interest in moving off. I always let the guy ask, and he just never did. We've got things in common. Like, I'm asking him, like I ask people what time they get up in the morning. I never ask people what they do. And he's got the right answers. It's like 4:30 or 5. That's the same as me. We're both up. We're both working out. We're both super into fitness. You know, I ask him about another hobby or whatever, what he does in his free time. He's like, I'm so into bread baking lately. Like, I've gotten so into baking sourdough. And I'm like, that's crazy, because that has always been my hobby for 30 years. Like, my family's wanted me to open a bakery. I've baked for restaurants growing up. Like, I am a really good baker. And so, you know, we're exchanging recipes and talking about it. And so he says to me, let's go out. Let's go out. And I said, okay, let's do this. He's like, let's go out on Thursday. And he's like, I gotta go to work. And I don't really, again, we haven't moved off the app. I don't hear from him for a while, but I don't have like a ton invested in this, you know. I'm just sort of like, oh, it's an interesting, you know, like, I'll have a lot of things in common with him. It'll be interesting to go out for a drink. He sends me a message through Hinge and says, give me your phone number. I am going to FaceTime you at 3 and we will go out at 7 tonight. And I'm like, cool. You know, like a man that takes charge. Cool. So 3 o'clock rolls around. Oh, and then I go and I look at his profile later in the day and it's gone. And I'm like, oh, he unmatched for me. I guess we're not going anywhere. And if you online date, that shit happens all the time. And you're like, whatever. So I'm like, oh, I guess we're not going. But at 3 o'clock, my phone starts ringing. And so I answer it and it's him FaceTiming me. And he looks exactly like his photos. I look exactly like mine. He's like, I'm so relieved. Like, you're totally normal. You're funny. You're cute. I've snuck out of work. I'm just taking this call, but we're on for tonight. Here's my address. You know, park at my house. I'll wait for you and we'll walk to go get a drink because the area is super busy, has terrible parking. But I know the area well, and so I'm completely comfortable. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's great. So I show up at the time he's waiting out in his driveway, and I have a sourdough starter that I made for him. So I have a 200-year-old New England sourdough starter, and he's got one that he uses that's from the other side of the country. So mine's very different. He sees it and is like just, you know, I think he's a little mind blown that I put any thought into it. It doesn't cost anything, you know, I just have it, you feed it, you split it and bring it. And so I think for him, he was already like super excited. Like, oh my God, she's nice. You know, she looks like she's supposed to look, and she's really nice. And my first impression of him is like, Jesus Christ, he is enormous. Like, this man is a full straight Viking, okay? There's no other word to describe him. I think people who are 6'4" are tall. He is pushing 7 foot. Dude, I am 5'4" on my best day. So I'm like, we are so mismatched. It feels weird talking to him. I'm like, so we go out, we have a drink. And while we're talking, I say to him, hey, I like your tattoo. It's really interesting that you have that. But I'm not thinking it's that weird because, and again, I'm not going to tell you what the tattoo is of because it's too identifying. Again, I don't think it's that weird that he has the tattoo because I think it ties into what he does for a living, just from a couple of things that he's mentioned. And he says to me something about the tattoo like, I don't understand what it is. Like somehow I've misunderstood what it is. And I said, no, I know exactly what that is. It's this. I wrote my college thesis on that exactly. And his mind is just like, and I said, and he's, asking me a million questions. He's trying to make sure, like, how do you know this? Like, this isn't in your wheelhouse. And I'm like, but it is in your wheelhouse, and he's just looking at me and he's like, well, that's not what I do for a living. And I said, well, what do you do for a living? Like, I'm confused completely at this point. And he's like, I play football. And I don't know. And like when he said it, I was like, oh, like arena football? He's like, no, like NFL football. And I was like, huh. And all the wheels are turning like, oh my God, this is why he didn't move off the app. This is why I didn't give you his phone number. It's when he gave you his phone number, then he completely deleted the match with you so you couldn't screenshot it. And I'm like, does he think that I have any idea who the hell he is? But I don't know because I don't know who he is. So I don't know how well he's known. Anyway, so we talk about that just like, a little bit in passing. He mentions that he's going out of town. He's got a whole team going with him. And I'm confused as to what the hell he's doing out of town. He mentioned something about me going out of town with him. He wants to take me sightseeing. And I'm like, okay, sure. Now I feel like maybe he's just blowing some smoke up my ass because I do not know who the hell this man is. Who am I with right now? And so whatever, he kisses me goodbye. He tells me he's going to be out of town and he'll give me a call. And he, in fact, goes out of town for 2 weeks. I go home, I Google him, and I'm like, holy shit. Okay. He is, in fact, an NFL player. He's played for several teams. And I can see, like, whatever. I don't expect to hear from him again. I'm just like, what? That was kind of a cool experience. But he does. He texts me while he's gone. And then when he gets back, he actually calls me. And I've gotten back together by this point with the person that I had been broken up with. And nothing ever came of it. The guy that I was seeing, that I had been with and broken up with, played college football. So when we got back together, I said, no, this was the only date I went on. I went on a date and ended up being an NFL player. I had no idea the whole time that I was on the goddamn date. I thought he did this thing that I'm super interested in, this like kind of art thing that I'm super interested in. That's why I went out with him. He was like, well, who is he? And I said, I'm not going to tell you who it is. And he's like, what position does he play? And I'm like, I don't know. I never asked. I don't like sports. But I could tell you everything about all of his hobbies.
Hi, get ready with me for work while I just ramble about, oof, it's loud, men and dating in this day and age. It's like impossible, I feel like lately. Every person that I meet that I'm just like, oh, this could. It can't. It won't. It just is all about sex, I feel like. And they just want to start talking about it immediately. And like, hey, your girl, I know that people on this app know my daughter, so I'm not going to go into it. But I can get down with that absolutely when it's time. Like, why are we so rushing to it? Why is it like the second we start talking, 1 day, 2 days in, it's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, bro, I don't even know you. I've met you once. I haven't even kissed you. Like, what are we talking about? And then if you're a top tier woman, as I am, and you set that boundary and you're like, hey, I kind of don't want to talk about this immediately. Like, let's hang out, see where it goes, and then we can, maybe get there. And they're like, yeah, I agree. I'm like that too. I agree. Let's just do that. Deal. I respect that. Then, next thing you know, fucking crickets. Like, cool. You were up my ass like white on rice for 3 days talking to me every second, wanting to know all this stuff. But the second I tell you I'm not going to engage in that type of activity, now all of a sudden, oh, I'm so busy. I've been on the go all day. I got this and I got that going on. Oh, cool. But you didn't have that going on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday when you was trying to talk about that. Okay. I get it. So my lesson, I gotta fix this hair. My lesson of the day is, unfortunately, you can't believe anything that they say, and you're better off being single for a while, because we need a new batch of boys, or men. These guys just aren't. They're not anywhere. Okay? Love you, bye.
So I met this guy. We were talking for about 2 or 3 weeks before we decided that he was going to ask me out on a date. And low-key, I ain't even really like him like that. He don't have TikTok. I don't even like him like that. He's not my type. But I was like, you know what? My mother and my grandmother always said, like, always like a guy a little less than they like you. So I was just rolling with it, you know? So given the fact that I'm a single mother and the nature of my job, it took a lot of planning for me to map out when we was going to go on this date. So this was last week. So we have been talking about it for a couple of days. Okay, I'm off Thursday and Friday last week. Let's go Friday. We could go early in the day. My son get out of after school at 5:30 so I could scoop him up and then go home for the weekend. He was cool with it. He even came up with the plans for the date. And I'm like, okay, cool. It wasn't dinner. It was the unconventional date. We was going to go to a shooting range. I'm like, cool. You know, I haven't been in a couple of months. Yeah, stop playing with me. Like, I was actually looking forward to it. And he was hounding me the whole week. You sure we going Friday? You sure we going Friday? I'm like, yeah, we going Friday. Relax. Friday comes. I wake up to a text message. Oh, I got to watch my son. And granted, I applaud you for being a present parent. I will never get in the way of anybody's parental duties because I know how it is. But the fact that you hounded me all fucking week to go out on this date is beyond me. So now we roll around to this week and I'm on my 2-week vacation. He's planning out my days. Oh, you said you off for 2 weeks. You don't go back to work until the 31st. Yeah, but you don't need to know all of that. I don't need you to know. I don't need you to be making my schedule for me. I told you the days that I was going to be available. I got other shit to do. So he like, oh, you going to be down in the Bronx today? Why don't you pull up to Harlem to my job? Come.
Okay, I'm 47. I'm single. Contemplating dating, all that jazz, or just remaining single. Someone asked me the other day, what is my deal breaker? Or what are my deal breakers? Currently, men that, well, act like boys, obviously. But the big one is men like around my age, because I can date older or younger than me if I wanted. But I feel like men around my age, some of them haven't even started families. I'm done. I'm a grandma. So I'm just curious as to what other people's deal breakers are. And if I'm being too harsh, because I don't necessarily want to date someone that has young kids. Just because I have that freedom and flexibility of just taking off if I want. Not having to plan things too far in advance. I mean, I have a dog, but I'd just be like, hey, somebody watch the dog. But I'm just curious. Another one would probably be smoking or a really heavy drinker. Drinking on occasion is fine, but somebody that has to have a drink as soon as they get home and have multiple drinks a night instead of just, I'm going to have a beer after work, you know, kind of just relax, whatever. I mean, that's cool. And then a heavy smoker. I don't smoke. I just, you know. Yeah, those are my hard passes. So I'm just curious, what is other people's hard passes?
Well, this is a drastic improvement over what I looked like before I put the filter on. So there's that. I'm going to tell you a story about dating today. Dating at 40. which is a nightmare. Worse than dating at any other age, I swear, is dating at 40. Last weekend, I went out on a couple of dates, which is unusual for me. Usually I don't stack dates like that. I went on a date on Friday night with a guy who was really sweet, but there's no potential there. He is still married, separated, but that's not something I want to get myself into. Because who knows, maybe she comes back and he's like, I love you and I want to make us work out. So no, he was really nice. We had a nice time. That was it. Haven't heard from him since. I think he got the picture. Saturday, I went out with another guy who I had spoken to, and we had planned on having coffee and then going for a walk and then getting lunch somewhere. That's a lot for me. Usually on a first date, I like to just have something super low-key and casual so I can get out if I'm not enjoying myself. So we got coffee, took a long walk, and we went to lunch. I thought it was going really well. I thought we were hitting it off. He was making a lot of eye contact with me, seemed really interested. We were talking about things like common goals and ideals and morals, and we all seemed to be on the same page. It was working out pretty well, even though I lost my contact at lunch and had to see him basically through one eye the whole time. The next day, he called me and asked me to go out this coming Friday. So between Sunday and now, we texted maybe like once a day. He was always the one who initiated it. Okay? Even just to say something dumb like, how's your coffee today or whatever, like something stupid like that. And then a few days ago, because a lot of you who know me know that I'm into perfume. So I was organizing my perfume and I was like, oh, hey, by the way, what do you like to smell on a woman? Right? Not even thinking anything about it because that's not serious to me. And then yesterday I cooked dinner and sent him a picture of it. And I said, maybe I'll cook it for you sometime, after he told me it looked good. He then calls me and says, this is moving way too fast. You can understand, I was seriously gobsmacked. Way too fast. We've been on one date. We've exchanged a handful of texts. Every communication was pretty much initiated by him. And he's the one who kissed me after our first date, by the way. So here I am thinking to myself, like, are there any men out there who are not flakes? Honestly. Thinking that going on one date where you initiated the kiss and told me, I really hope we can continue this, and then you continue communicating with me, and then I say something about maybe making dinner for you sometime and asking you what perfume you'd like me to wear on our date, and you tell me it's moving too fast. Come on, dude, grow up. You're not ready for a relationship.
So I just have to rant for a minute, if that's all right. I normally don't talk on TikTok, like I do funny videos or like lip sync or whatever, but I am just absolutely appalled right now, and I just have to speak on it. So I literally have gotten 3 text messages tonight from 3 random guys that have my number. That I'm so associated with them, whatever, not like friends, like just kind of met them like in the last couple months. Never have gone out with any of them, never have like went on a date or anything like that. But the audacity that these guys today think that it is just okay to immediately text you, like right out the gate, hey baby, want to come over? Like, you want to come ride this stick? Or, like some bullshit. Like, the fuck? I am 45 years old. I have 2 children. I have a grandchild, okay? I have been single for about 6 years. I was married pretty much my entire adult life. Married twice, divorced twice. Not planned that at all. But I've been single for about 6 years, and I'm a very positive person. I'm a very happy person. I'm like the life of the party sometimes, I guess. I get along with everybody as much as I can. So I just was sitting here and I was thinking, at first I didn't think anything about it, but then the second one messaged me out of nowhere. And then a third message. And it wasn't like, hey, how are you doing? How's your day going? How's work? So nice to meet you. Would you like to go on a date? Anything like that. It's just right out the gate. Do I have I want to have sex with everybody on my forehead, or text me for sex? I don't give that vibe at all to people. So I don't know where that comes from. But I'm just like, is this what this really world is today, a dating area? I'm good. I'm good. I'm so good by myself with my cat and my dog. I'm good, because that shit is so disrespectful. And I just texted all 3 of them back and said, I really would appreciate it. Like, you know, if there was a hi, how are you? But a fuck you even would be great. But, you know, don't come at me like that. Like, I'm 45 years old. I think we're good. How about you go find you somebody that, you know, is young and sprung maybe. Maybe I'm just being old and grouchy. I don't know. But either way, your thoughts, because I ain't having it.
So, beautiful souls, in a nutshell, I'm going to fly. I am going to first love myself. I radiate better. I feel my essence. I'm more connected to self. I'm not having to distract and direct my energy to try to figure out this man, if he's going to be safe for me and such. I'm just going to focus on me. And honestly, not only do I feel better when I'm single, I make more money, I sleep better, I feel more connected to God when I'm single. So if you're contemplating whether on dating and such, honestly, I would just buckle down on romanticizing your life and focusing on your goals and really working on loving yourself and making sure that you're feeling connected to yourself on a daily basis and on an hourly basis, just checking in with yourself, because no man is worth that misdirection unless he is coming humbly with a knee, with honesty.